Alright, so here's a little update for the Season 18 Samurai. We are starting off pretty well. This is full glass cannon build, so we peak up around 2.2 billion single target. We end up settling down around 1.5 to 1.6 billion. This is a little higher, I'm getting some pretty decent procs. But anyways, so for gear, you'll have a 3-piece Nobunaga, which is completed by Absence of Constraint, Shadow Carver, Dark Knight Gauntlets, Caffeinated Coffee Container, Lost Master Marchers, Belt of Skulls, and Satan's Chalice. I've got Weirds in here to cap my critical chance at 100%, which this is also very important. So we're looking for crit rate and crit damage rolls, but also you will need at least 3 of these cooldown reduction rolls in order to hit your 50% cooldown cap, which is very important. And then we have the 6 unique jewels, just to get all those bonuses. They're all very decent. Pretty much fill the rest of everything with pristine skulls. And I know, so those are extremely expensive. So until you get to that point, you can use Omni Pearls or Lapis Lazuli. Those jewels will increase your damage by the same amount. Or you could also use just Perfect Skulls. We also have a single Von Rune for this build. You might need 2 or 3 more, or just 2 or 3 in total, just to hit your 50% cap, because it's just so important. So, for the talent build, I use Omnislash, Blade Barrier, Phantom Knives, and Live by the Sword. Rest of the points in the Shadow Clone. If you prefer using Empire Slash, you can take points out of Blade Barrier and go into there. The reason I use Blade Barrier is because this is shorter cooldown, generally more uptime, and it also provides dodge and block, which will help you not die. For hero levels, stamina or strength is fine. Armor, elemental damage in most cases will be better than critical damage. This row doesn't necessarily matter. This row is very important. You want the all stacks. You want the additional stack for this. And then for 60, crit chance. And then all stats here. 80, you do whatever. If you need resistance, you can go there. For here, none of this really matters because all of our skills scale with ability and attack power. And then for 100, if you do manage to get here, so again, personal preference, stamina or strength. The Mercenary, in general, is 1 to everything, and then we max out attack speed. This is also attack speed. His aura is also attack speed. We max this one out. This is his personal elemental break. It's just more consistent. And then the rest of the points into life per hit. His gear, by the way, we have Underworlds. Armor break level 6 is very important. Same with elemental break. It just adds to the consistency. Nares, if you can get it, is very good with marked target. Otherwise, you can just hang out with Imperial Glaive with piercing. The shield is very good. If you can get one of these, this would be amazing. Kugarasu Maru is the proc that it'll also apply to you. 30% dodge, 30% attack speed, 30% movement speed, and 30% physical damage. Very useful. It actually ends up being better than St. Tomi's, thankfully, so we don't have to go for that. Okay, so for relics, your Shiv is really good. That's pretty much the only one that makes a massive difference for damage. You can also get Magic Mushroom and Holy Grail. Everything else is sort of personal preference. As far as like health regen and survivability goes, Charmed Blood is really good, Bracer of Life, and Lantern. And then I usually end up stacking like stamina and armor at that point. You guys could also go for like strength and attack speed. Attack speed especially if you want more consistent like armor breaks and stuff from your mercenary. And that's pretty much that. So for budget set. Alright, so for your budget set, it's not going to be insane, but it'll be enough to get you through Hell 5, most content in Hell 5. And this is with a mercenary that only has Imperial Glaive. The elemental break is from his Shatter armor here, so he's still pretty useful. And we have, starting out, 4-piece Nobunagas. Got a Raider's Torch. I think Annihilus is also probably considered budget. That'll do you well. So for resistances, you have Satanic Eye and Prismatic Potion. And then for cooldown, Monkey Skin Belt, like especially, is really good. Lost Masters also has some. And same goes for the Assassin Boots. For gear progression, the first 2 pieces I would recommend. Shadow Carver is probably fairly easier to get compared to Absence. And it's fine if you break your 4-piece bonus to get Shadow Carver, just because it already adds so much damage and mostly like survivability just in general. The armor here and all stat is really nice. And just get Absence when you can. From here, could go for Havoc, and then eventually, as they come available, Steve Charm, Satan's Chalice. For the belt, Rugel's is decent. Eventually, you want to get Belt of Skulls. For boots, Whisperwalker's Fade is also decent. Darkhide's good. If you still need cooldown and resists, Thunder Marchers will work. Steadfast if you really want resists. And then eventually leading up to Lost Masters. So the main thing is because of the crit rate, crit damage, which scales really well into late game. For gloves, probably end up going for Breach Gauntlets, and then eventually Dark Knight's Gauntlets. And then Potion, you can probably keep this as Prismatic for a while, or if you need cooldown, you go for Surströmming. Bottle Sake, it's okay, it's not amazing. And then eventually Caffeinated Coffee Container. And that's pretty much that. If you got this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and you're beautiful. If you'd like to watch more, I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/snowzone. And you can also feel free to message me on Discord, snowzone #5168. Alright. Like, follow, subscribe. Okay, thanks. Bye.